I've learned more in this amount of time than ever in my life.
10 out of 10 recommend Horizons.
One of the most incredible things I've gained are amazing friends.
I'm Prateek, UPenn CS major now. I switched from physics, and I'm going to be a sophomore. I have a friend who's a TA here in Nihar, and like on normal weekday nights, like we'd be doing our homework, and he'd just finish that and just make a website or make a mobile app. And that's something that I thought there was such a huge barrier to entry. Like nobody would be able to just sit down and learn that on themselves, by themselves. So I was like, Nihar, how'd you learn? And he's like, yeah, I just like picked stuff up over a couple of years, and like now that we're in college, we don't really have that kind of time. And I know for a fact that we're not going to learn that kind of stuff in school. So Horizons seemed like the best way to just get a bunch of exposure to this like one unique field, so that when I can get back to school, I can do exactly that and just make websites, make apps, and deploy things, and like feel capable that barrier to entry is not as big as I thought it would be. CS program at every school is all discrete math and optimization and very technical challenges, but not applicable unless you're on a very large scale. So the kinds of problems that you're being asked are engineering problems, whereas the kind of problems you're being asked of in Horizons are product problems. So having product problems is like a very different way of thinking than like, okay, I'm given a problem of how many like spheres can I fit in like one bus? Like there's a mathematical answer and there's a product answer, and I think Horizons is the best way to find the product answer to that. It's great to like know that I'll meet people here that I'll get close to, and then go back to Penn and see them there. Know that they have same skill sets and same ideas that we can actually work on together. So like, if I wanted to make a startup here, I know it would continue at Penn. It wouldn't just break up with the people breaking up.
Okay.
Generally, like as the coursework went on and we got to like have new partners and stuff, like it's really cool to see that so many different people from so many different backgrounds have like really ambitious ideas. And like at the end of this, like now that the startup path is going, like people feel empowered that they can actually do it. I think there's that one commonality, and I kind of noticed that like based on like their background and where they're coming from, they have different ideas. And like I think it's important, especially as a CS major, because I bet there's a ton of CS major applicants, that it's really important that we see what other people in other majors and people in other fields, their ideas, because their ideas are oftentimes a lot more broader and a lot more like applicable than CS majors, because of that education that we get in school that's a lot more theoretical. So that now that we have, now that we're interacting a lot with people who are not just hardcore CS, we get exposure to a ton of different ideas that we wouldn't have possibly gotten before.
Okay.
I'd say like at Horizons you have like a 3-hour lecture and then like 5+ hours at the end of the day just coding. So you don't really have to wait much to apply what you learn. In school, you probably have to wait all of school to apply what you learn, at least, even if, and there's a lot of people that you talk to who are in jobs right now who never touch anything that they learn in school in their CS program. So there's a lot of the times like in school you're learning something that's very difficult, you're struggling with it, and then you ask yourself like, when will I ever use this in my entire life? And you don't want to get to that point. I don't even have to convince myself to work here, because I know that there's a reason I'm doing it, and I know the reason is tangible.
Okay.
So Horizon students after the summer, like if you see something that you want to make, we're more inclined to just do it and like start from scratch, like not be intimidated by it, and just start coding and know where to go. Me before Horizons, for example, like would have a bunch of ideas but have no clue what to do. What to start, like how to like make a Git repo even, and like make the main file and make a front end or whatever. Like any part of that would just be completely foreign to me. And now that I'm past Horizons, I know like how to tackle these problems, make it smaller, which stack to use. Been to a bunch of blockchain events all over San Francisco and Berkeley. My brother's in Berkeley right now, so he invites me to a bunch of them there. And like bringing people there and like seeing them get super excited about it is awesome. A lot of people want to do startups in the space, which is awesome. Networking with the people in San Francisco is just amazing. Like, I thought it was just a big hoax, like there's smart people everywhere and kind of thing, but there's smart people here who are doing something about it, which is a lot different than just smart people being everywhere. A lot of like osmosis that kind of happens just by being around people who are doing things. You're more inclined to do things yourself. So all the networking events in San Francisco, all the hackathons that happen, like the pace is really high. And it's very hard to feel intimidated by it because again, the purpose thing shows up. Like, you know why you're here, you know what you want to do, and the people around you also know why they're here and also know what they want to do. So everybody's just moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour and just, it's amazing. And I think as soon as I leave and go back to Penn, it'll be like a huge like pace change. And everything will seem a lot easier because of how fast we're going now. We don't even realize it. So there's 3 paths, right? There's one that's the job prep path.
Yes.
There's one that's the core path, and one's that is, what's the last one?
Client work.
Client work, right, yeah. So I chose core path because as a freshman going to be a sophomore, that would be most useful to have a bunch of things in my Git repo that is finished and really cool projects. So the scheduler bot and the collaborative text editor are really cool projects that I'd like to show off. And then I'd also want time for a startup or creative work after that, and I got exactly that with core path. Right now with core path, we're like taking on a very ambitious project. We're trying to make a peer-to-peer version of the internet, and there's a lot of companies who are trying to do that right now, but ours is trying to be able to make the internet configurable.